Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the 6th Annual Women's History Breakfast. It is truly an honor to be with you today. Yes, applause, definitely. It is truly an honor to be with you today as we gather to celebrate fearless women who reshaped Orlando's political landscape. Our honorees, the Honorable Mable Butler, yes. The Honorable Glenda W. Chapin, the Honorable Martha Haynie, the Honorable Glenda E. Hood, and Commissioner Emerita Mary I. Johnson, who's represented by their family. Today, we are honored to welcome Orange County Mayor Jerry L. Demings and Orange County Commissioners Myra Uribe, Michael Scott, Maribel Gomez Cordero, Kelly Martinez Sumrod, and Nicole Wilson. Thank you so much for coming. From the City of Orlando, we welcome Mayor Buddy Dyer, Commissioners Patty Sheehan, Shan Rose, and Tony Ortiz. Representative Ana Escamani is joining us from the Florida Legislature, and U.S. Congressman Maxwell Frost is represented today by Jasmine Ramos. If there are any other elected officials I may have missed, please stand up for recognition. Great, thank you. This event today would not be possible without the ongoing support of Mayor Demings and Orange County government, who ensure that the Orange County Regional History Center continues to preserve and share the rich history of Central Florida. We're also grateful to our lead event sponsor, the City of Orlando, for their generous support, and extend our sincere thanks to our table sponsors, Charles Johnson, Hilb Group, Heart of Florida United Way, Downtown Orlando Partnership, and the League of Women Voters of Orange County, including Joan Irwin, Lee Rambo Kemp, Ann Patton, and Joy Wallace Dickinson. This morning's program is not only a celebration, but also a call to action in supporting opportunities for students pursuing careers in public history, museums, education, public administration, and related fields, ensuring that future generations continue to research and amplify the stories of diverse women throughout history. The Her Story Women in Her Story Internship Fund was established in 2020 to honor Jean Evans and Bickley Wilson, and we are privileged to welcome Bickley Wilson and the family of Jean Edge Williams, Marcia Hope Goodwin, who are with us today. And I know today is a special day because today is actually the birthday of Jean Edge Evans, so I just wanted to acknowledge that today. Thank you. Thank you for your enduring commitment to preserving and sharing women's history. This year, we paid tribute to, again, our 5 extraordinary women: the Honorable Mable Butler, the Honorable Glenda Chapin, the Honorable Martha Haynie, the Honorable Glenda Hood, and Commissioner Emerita Mary Johnson, the trailblazers who broke barriers in the City of Orlando of Orange County. These women stepped into leadership at a time when their presence in positions of power was far from guaranteed. They campaigned against odds, won hard-fought victories, and paved the way for greater representation in government. As we recognize these groundbreaking leaders, we also reflect on the legacy of the late Senator Geraldine Thompson. Senator Thompson was a passionate advocate for education, history, and civic engagement. She founded the Wells-Built Museum of African American History and Culture and dedicated her life to expanding opportunities, preserving local African American history, and ensuring that the stories of those who paved the way were never forgotten. She understood that representation matters and worked tirelessly to uplift voices that had long been underrepresented in leadership. Her commitment to service and history is a reminder of why we continue to honor and celebrate the women who have shaped our community. We want to welcome her family, who is with us here today, the Honorable Emerson Thompson and Elizabeth Grace. Thank you. I want to invite everyone to stand up in recognition of the late Senator Geraldine Thompson. The women we celebrate today followed the same path of determination and resilience. They didn't just open doors, they redefined the room. Their leadership changed the face of politics in Central Florida, proving that representation leads to meaningful progress and lasting impact. And today, as we see that progress in action, right now, even 5 of the 6 Orange County commissioners are women, and a remarkable reflection of how far we've come. Commissioners, thank you so much for your being here. Women's voices are no longer the exception in leadership. They are shaping the future of our community every day. As we honor the women who shattered barriers in Central Florida, let us also commit to continuing their work, ensuring that more voices are heard, more stories are told, and more doors are opened for future generations. Let us recognize our role in continuing their legacy, supporting and empowering the next generation of women leaders. With that, it is my great pleasure and privilege to introduce a leader who understands the importance of honoring our past while building a stronger future for our community. Please join me in welcoming Orange County Mayor Jerry L. Demings.
Good morning to all of you. Let me just say thank you to Azella Santana. She's our new director here, and she's doing just a tremendous job. Give it up for her. This annual Women's History Month celebration here at the Regional History Center is the largest in attendance so far. So thank you for all of you for being here today. I want to just speak briefly about these honorees because every one of them I know personally, and every one of them have played a role in my success here within this community. Not too long ago, on December the 29th, we celebrated Orange County's 200th anniversary. And as we celebrated that anniversary, it was not just about the passage of time, but it really was about the people. It was about the successes of this community, the spirit of this community, and what we have become today. So let me just talk briefly about those who I know personally. First, Glenda Chapin, the first mayor of Orange County, a friend of mine, one who I have called upon on numerous occasions for advice. When I was elected sheriff of Orange County, she chaired my transition team, and meaning that she volunteered, she worked for free. Then when I was elected mayor of Orange County, she chaired my transition team. And so I have called on her on numerous occasions, so thank you for being the leader that you have been in this community and being the trailblazer that you are. I certainly humbly appreciate it. Commissioner Mable Butler. I grew up in a neighborhood with her and her children, and her husband, Eddie Butler, he was my barber for many years. And if you go into a barber shop, you know what that's like. You hear a lot of things, and as a young boy, I would listen to the conversations that the other men would be having there, and her husband would give me a lot of advice about how to comb my hair and how to sit up and how to shake hands and all of those things. But I've known her now for a lot of years, so nearly 66 years I've known her. And she was a tireless advocate in our community before she was even elected to office, through working with numerous organizations. And so I'm forever grateful for the advice, the spankings, the whippings that you gave me over the years, because during that era, the people in the neighborhood, the adults had the authority, I should say, to whip you if you stepped out of line. Our parents gave them that authority. Martha Haynie, I worked with her over the years, and she's given me a lot of advice as well. We have pressed her in the service and asked her to volunteer to assist us at different times since I've been mayor, and I am forever grateful. As a former constitutional officer, all of the audits that she did of the sheriff's office when I was there, they were great audits, so thank you. Yes, a great audit. And then Glenda Ehud, a wonderful friend. I probably would not be standing here today. She took a risk on me 27 years ago in 1998 and appointed me at 39 years old as chief of police in the city of Orlando. What a privilege that was to serve under her during that period of time. My family is forever grateful to you because of that. And so I talk about it all the time. My staff can tell you that we recognize you, the only woman so far to have served as mayor of the city of Orlando. Thank you so much. Mary I. Johnson. I had the opportunity to work with her, work for her. When I retired from the city of Orlando and I went to Orange County government as Deputy County Administrator and Director of Public Safety, I had the opportunity to work with Mary I. Johnson. Sometimes she would talk to me about the things that she was passionate about, and some of that was working with women and victims' rights. Because of the work that she's done, Louis Damiani is here today. He was working with her, and that organization that he leads now, the Victim Service Center, is thriving, but she was a person who really championed that to become the entity that it is today. And so we recognize her. And I'm so thankful. One of my mentors in this community is here today, and former Chief Judge Thompson is here. He's a fraternity brother of mine and a great friend. And he has given me a lot of advice over the years, and I appreciate that. And of course, his wife, the Senator Geraldine Thompson, a great friend as well, good person to know to, if you want to go do battle, you call Geraldine Thompson. And so I'm forever grateful to have the friendship that we have with that family. So I'm sharing this with you because this is all personal with the women in this community who have led in many ways. I can tell you that I would not be here today without a great mother. My mother was a person who forced me to go to church and get into the Boy Scouts and do all of those things. And Dad was working 7 days a week, but my mom was the one that was there with the children all the time. So I honor the women in my life. Of course, I'm married to a woman who is in her own rights a great leader in this community as well, the Honorable Val Butler Demings, and we honor her today during this Women's History Month. So ladies, I'll get out of the way. It's good to have just one man on the program saying something today. Thank you all so much for being here. Our Regional History Center is like no other. With the leadership of Azella Santana, I know that we are going to take this Regional History Center to the next level. So together we can do that. We can make this community everything that it should be and can be. God bless you all.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, y'all awake. Y'all got it right on the first try. I didn't have to do a remix. So my remarks are going to kind of come in three phases. Something for all the women here, something personal, and then this bio here. Women, none of us men would be here without you. I mean, sometimes people forget that, so I just had to put that out there because, But you are the givers of life. You teach us how to be strong when we feel weak. You make us smile when we're sad. And so I'm just grateful for the things that you have done for my neighbors, my friends, and how you uplift us when times are really, really sad. I know I have the fortune of being the only male commissioner on the board. So depending on what the vote is, I may get a smile, loving look, or an eye roll like I'm finna get a whooping and go in trouble. So, as I was listening to Mayor talk about remarks, I thought it important to note that, growing up in this community, I had the honor of being a part of a program called CROP, or College Reach Out Program. And that was a program started for middle school students at Valencia College by Geraldine Thompson. And so I got to learn how to be a young man and develop myself. And I told Mayor Hood, I was like, I remember you when I was in school. You may not remember me, but I remember you. She's like, yeah, we're a lot older now. So I still don't know how I got to this seat, because years ago, Mable, Commissioner Butler, said, well, your daddy couldn't run for dog catcher. And a lot of you folks don't know my dad worked for Animal Services for Orange County, so it was funny there. But I wrote something for you this morning while I was sitting there, and it goes like this. Dear Mama, it is because of you that I know myself. It is because of you that I believe in myself. I can smile because of you. I can cry, wipe my eyes because of you. I know how to get up when I fall down because of you. I also know how to fight because of you. And I know how to love because of you. So, Mama, thank you for being there for me, for all the battles seen, unseen, for the things these people will never know. And for when I had food poisoning and I was at her house, she was feeding me aloe blended up with some water and some mango juice. And I'm just like, just drink it. And it worked and I felt better. So today we're here to honor a trailblazer, many trailblazers, but I get to speak on my trailblazer from my community that's known me since I was knee-high to a pumpkin seed. Today we come to honor a true trailblazer, a woman whose unwavering commitment and service to the community has shaped the very fabric of Orlando and Orange County, and that is the Honorable Mable Butler. Mable Butler's legacy is one of courage and advocacy and an unrelenting drive to improve the lives of those around her. As the first African-American woman to serve on the City of Orlando Council from 1984 to 1998, she was a voice for the unserved, a champion for fairness, and a steadfast leader who never backed down from a challenge. She dedicated her life to fighting for affordable housing, health care access, programs, and empowered low-income families and seniors, always ensuring that the government worked for the people who needed them the most. Mabel's leadership was deeply personal. She was not content with a policy on paper. She was very much hands-on. I'm pretty sure when the city council voted to name a street after her, I think it was Minor, it was like, hey, listen, we don't want no problems, we don't want no smoke. She want this street named after her, we're going to make it happen, because she did the work. But she continued to take action to create real lasting change. And her advocacy began long before she held public office. After earning her degree in social work from New York City College, she moved to Orlando in 1957 and soon noticed racial discrimination in housing. The experience inspired her to work with local leaders to develop the Orlando Human Relations Department, ensuring the equal treatment in housing and equal treatment in housing and employment opportunities across all races. She was also an active member of the PTA and worked tirelessly to register people to vote, understanding that civic engagement and systematic change require community engagement. Her impact has extended long beyond government, and as the director of the Center for Multi-Purpose Center under Orange County Community Action Vision, she worked to uplift those in need. She played a pivotal role in establishing Meals on Wheels program in Orange County in the 1970s and the 1980s. I wasn't born yet. She helped bring the Florida Classic, the iconic rivalry game between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman, to Orlando, further cementing her role as a hub, or further cementing our role as a hub for cultural and athletic excellence. Her legacy was also profound in that the city honored her contribution by naming Mable Butler Avenue in her name, which you all know. We also have a Mable Butler building. You should visit it sometimes. Even in the face of challenges, Mable never wavered. She was a fighter, a woman of deep conviction who believed in the power of public service to transform lives. Her legacy continues in the programs championed, the policies she shaped, and the many leaders she's inspired in her footsteps. Mama Mable, your work has changed lives and your impact is immeasurable. You have paved the way for so many, including me, and your passion for justice and equality will forever serve. Man, my nose running, I'm trying not to cry. Y'all, I'm keeping it together, so just bear with me. So any ugly pictures that any city or county photographers take, please don't post them on the internet. But for those of you who read the Sentinel or look online, I put a mural in my office honoring Mable, Senator Thompson, Judge Thompson, and so many others, because I think that it's important to remind us that we sometimes forget in our busyness that we have to give our flowers and our love while we're here. The most expensive gift you can give anyone in this world is your time. Because while you can check your bank account balance, I'm still trying not to cry, bear with me, you cannot check your life account balance to know when your time will come. And so as you honor the women in this month and honor the people in your personal and professional lives, take a moment to say thank you. Take a moment to tell them that you love them, and more importantly, tell them why you love them. It will make them smile. So Mable, I am happy to be just a small part of your story. I'm happy to follow in your footsteps. And I'm trying real hard, and I think I've done all right not to get a whooping while I'm in office. So thank you. Oh, I'm told to tell you all, sorry, she's losing her voice just a little bit, but when she's able to talk again, she will thank you all personally in time. So thank you.
Well, I didn't know I was making history at the time, but a friend of mine told me that I ran for office for all the good reasons of running for office, to make a difference, to make a change, and to make an understanding between people. Being a social worker that was all over this county as well as the city, I thought I would be best to serve and could bring these issues to the city, and that's why I ran, but had no intentions of making history, okay? But I did. What I see is I gave the other side of town the information how to serve everybody, rather than, if you don't know what's going on, how can you make a change and help make a change? So I was able to do that, and we're better off for it. I have no problem with loving and fighting at the same time. I will do both at the same time. But most people, they got to fight or they got to love. I can do both of them. The only thing I can say is get involved and to know what you want to fight for, or what to push for, or talk about. And if you're not involved and you got to listen to what the neighbors say, that's you don't know. You don't know. So I say get involved. Find a corner, find an organization, find something to get involved in which makes you grow. So, the more you give, the more you get. The more you laugh, the less you fret. The more you do unselfishly, the more you live abundantly.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and friends, today we come together to celebrate and honor. Okay. Sorry about that. Today we come together to celebrate and honor a truly remarkable leader, a visionary who has left an indelible mark on our community, Glenda Chapin. It is a privilege to recognize her outstanding contributions, steadfast leadership, and unwavering commitment to shaping the future of Orange County and Central Florida. Linda Chapin made history as the first elected mayor of Orange County, serving from 1990 to 1998. But before that, she had already dedicated herself to public service as an Orange County commissioner, laying the groundwork for the transformative initiatives she would later champion as mayor. Her tenure was marked by visionary projects that have profoundly shaped our region. Under her leadership, Orange County saw the construction of the nation's second largest convention center, a 23-level courthouse, and the transformation of our historic courthouse into what is now the Orange County Regional History Center, where we sit this morning. She also led efforts to create 15 new parks and recreational trails and to preserve over 12,000 acres of environmentally sensitive land, decisions that continue to benefit our community to this day. A champion for economic growth and innovation, Linda Chapin ensured that Orange County became the first county in Florida to mandate economic development as part of its local comprehensive plan. She played a pivotal role in promoting business and industry in Central Florida, leading regional economic summits, offering incentives for high-tech industries, and fostering international partnership through missions to Europe, Asia, and Latin America. Her dedication to strengthening our economic foundation was recognized in 2004 when she became the first woman to receive the James B. Green Economic Development Award from the Metro Orlando Economic Development Commission. Beyond her work in government, Linda has remained a steadfast advocate for education, regional planning, and civic engagement. In 2001, she joined the University of Central Florida and founded the Metropolitan Center for Regional Studies, addressing pressing regional issues such as growth, transportation, and environmental sustainability. Her deep commitment to community building was further demonstrated through the Targeted Community Initiative, an effort she spearheaded to revitalize historically neglected neighborhoods, a program that received the 1997 Public Service Excellence Award from President Bill Clinton as the best local government program in the nation. I know, right? Like, whoa. Linda Chapin has not only led with integrity and vision, but has also been a powerful advocate for history, especially the history of women's contributions to our society. She was a driving force behind the League of Women Voters of Orange County's centennial celebration of women's suffrage in 2020 and inspired the creation of Warriors for Democracy, a history of the Orange County League. Her belief in the importance of civic participation and historical awareness continues to inspire generations. A Florida native with deep family roots in Orlando, Linda Chapin has always understood the power of resilience, collaboration, and community. The Orlando Sentinel once described her as a model of integrity and character, and I can think of no better words to capture the essence of her legacy. Linda, on behalf, yes. Linda, on behalf of us here today and the countless others' lives that you have touched through your leadership, advocacy, and dedication, we thank you. Your vision has shaped our community, and your legacy will continue to inspire future generations. Please join me in celebrating the extraordinary achievements of Linda Chapin.
I'm very pleased to be with the other women being honored here because they were trailblazers. I was part of that. Mayor Hood and I had been friends for a long time. She and I laugh about it today and call it the golden age of the 90s because we had remarkable women. Pat Schwartz was a mentor to me, the first city commissioner. Vera Carter was a mentor at the Orange County Commission. Glenda and I worked together Rita Bornstein was president of Rollins College at the time. There was even a woman admiral at the Naval Training Center. So it was an era in which women recognized that not only did they have something to contribute, but our time had come. It is important and interesting to look back with an entirely different perspective, because when you're living through things, you don't think of it as history. I went to the March on Washington, one of the seminal events in our country, but we didn't know when we were there that morning that we were living history. So I think the closest I came during my career to thinking a lot about history might actually be this institution right here, because I was intent upon saving the 1927 courthouse. If I am speaking to young women today, the advice I would give them is be very strong. Those battles are not over, and they may come again. And so I am very hopeful that we are raising a new generation of women who will be willing to work twice as hard, be twice as good, and make their way as we had to.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate these remarkable women in government during Women's History Month. My name is Rachel Williams. I'm the historian here at the Orange County Regional History Center. It's fitting that we recognize these women here at the History Center, where we preserve stories of leadership and community service, and where today's event will help support Herstory internship programs, ensuring that women continue to have the opportunity to gain valuable experience in the history and museum fields. Today I have the honor of presenting Martha O. Haynie. Martha's journey reflects a lifetime of dedication, resilience, and commitment to public service. She was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, spending time in both Tennessee and Alabama in her formative years before earning a degree in accounting from the University of West Florida. While still in college, she was recruited by Walt Disney and moved to Orlando in 1973. Her early days in Central Florida were marked by a time of transition as she settled into her new home in Winter Garden. Her years at Disney gave her valuable experience, but her career path soon led her towards a deeper connection with the local community. After leaving Disney, Martha worked as a CPA, gaining a strong reputation for her expertise and commitment to her clients. She eventually started her own practice, balancing the demands of her career and raising children. In 1985, she became the director of finance for the Florida Symphony Orchestra, where she further honed her financial management skills. But it was her decision to run for public office in 1988 that would define her career and her legacy. Running for Orange County Comptroller was not an easy decision. She faced the challenge of running against a two-term incumbent while maintaining a full-time job and raising young children. Campaigning became a family effort, with close friends stepping in to help care for her children while she met with voters. Her hard work and determination paid off when she was elected, marking the beginning of a 28-year tenure that transformed the comptroller's office. As Orange County's chief financial officer, Martha brought professionalism, transparency, and accountability to the office. Her background as a CPA gave her the expertise needed to manage complex financial issues and communicate them efficiently to elected officials and the public. She built a reputation for providing thoughtful and reliable service, earning the trust of leaders across the political spectrum. Under her leadership, the office gained a reputation for integrity and excellence, making her a trusted steward of public funds. Martha's impact extended beyond her official duties. She was deeply engaged in the community, serving on the boards of Planned Parenthood of Southwest and Central Florida, the Hamilton Holt School at Rollins College, and the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra. Her commitment to public service was recognized with numerous accolades, including being named the Outstanding CPA in Government by the Florida Association of Certified Public Accountants in 1998, and received the Distinguished Alumni Award from the University of West Florida in 2008. Martha's career was not just about managing finances. It was about ensuring that the government served the people of Orange County effectively and transparently. She understood the importance of fostering trust between citizens and their government and worked tirelessly to promote that trust. Her leadership demonstrated that public service, when done with integrity and commitment, can have a lasting positive impact on the community. Please join me in celebrating the extraordinary contributions of Martha O. Haynie and her lasting impact on Orange County.
It was exciting, and there were so many women in positions of authority at the time. I was struck when somebody from someplace else would come and comment on how many women were in positions of authority, because pretty soon it felt normal to me. It was an interesting time. I was really honored to, I really enjoyed public service. I enjoyed being able to improve our customer service and having people feel like they could come to the controller's office either for financial information or in the recording area and be served and be taken care of and treated politely. As I was thinking about it, I think one of the things that's important about recognition like this is the fact that I only ran for office because there were strong women who had more confidence in me than I had in myself, and they really encouraged me to do it. And I think that's a lesson for women to maybe have more confidence in their own abilities, but also if you got a bunch of friends who say, you know, you can do this and we'll support you, sometimes you can take the leap. Try to go for something that you enjoy doing, something that you feel you've got some talent or passion for, but mostly to take chances. You know, little girls aren't necessarily brought up to take risks when I was growing up, but there are risks involved in this, and but the reward is amazing. So I would encourage young women to believe in themselves and to also support other women.
Wow, good morning. Good morning. Y'all look amazing. Adjust the mic. First of all, good morning. I'm Marcia Hope Goodwin. I have the pleasure and privilege of serving as Director of Community Affairs here at the City of Orlando, and I'm here to honor one of my biggest mentors and friends. And I would like to acknowledge in the room Mayor Buddy Dyer, who I serve on his team, Commissioner Tony Ortiz, Commissioner Patty Sheehan, and Commissioner Shan Rose. Good morning. Just wanted to make sure you all knew they were here. And Mayor Dyer will speak shortly. It is such a great honor and privilege to be with you today and to really have the opportunity to celebrate these remarkable, I really mean remarkable women who have made such an impact on our community. There are so many things that we could talk about that they have influenced and that really make a difference. I'm especially honored to recognize a trailblazer whom I have had the pleasure of working closely with in her administration for over 10 years. And this is very personal, so I may get a little emotional because I found Mayor Hood's leadership and dedication have had a lasting impact on me, my family, the community, and all of us, I think, in this room, especially those of us who have worked in government or those of us who have been partners in government. And she's also had an impact beyond that in the state, Central Florida, the nation, and beyond. The Honorable Glenda Evans Hood served as the first female mayor and the youngest mayor of the city of Orlando from 1992 to 2003. Mayor Hood's journey began here in Orlando, where she grew up playing at Lake Eola Park and visiting the Albertson Public Library a lot. A fourth-generation Floridian, Mayor Hood grew up on the shores of Big Lake Conway, where she attended Pine Castle Elementary and graduated from Oak Ridge High School. She's very proud of that. Mayor Hood furthered her education at Rollins College, earning a bachelor's degree in Spanish literature. And these early experiences in her life really shaped and laid the foundation for her lifetime of public service leadership. Her ability to lead and break glass ceilings was clear from the start. Through her involvement in the Junior League of Greater Orlando and the Orange County Public Schools Additions Program, she became the first non-business person to participate in Leadership Orlando, breaking new ground and setting the stage for what was to come. In 1982, Mayor Carl T. Langford appointed Mayor Hood to the Orlando Municipal Planning Board, where she gained valuable expertise as she began to shape Orlando's future. The same year, later, she led the Junior League of Greater Orlando as their president, continuing her commitment to service and community engagement. Mayor Hood's impact grew when she was elected to the Orlando City Council later in 1982. She held this position for a decade. And in 1992, she made history, as I mentioned, by becoming Orlando's 31st mayor, the first woman and the youngest person to hold the office. During her 10-plus years as mayor, Orlando's geography, its footprint, doubled, and she oversaw the city's largest parks initiative ever. She expanded public transportation and built strong partnerships with Orlando's neighborhoods and many area colleges and universities. One of her most transformative achievements was the redevelopment of the Orlando Naval Training Center into Baldwin Park, which, as we know, is now one of Orlando's most vibrant neighborhoods. Her passion and commitment to lifting up women leaders inspired her to create and host diverse discussions. How many of us remember that? Yes, and I was going to say that was a program wherein leaders from other parts of the world who could inspire our women came together with local women. It was a series of extraordinary conversations between our local women and inspiring national and international leaders. If you happen to have attended a diverse discussion like Kathy Russell and I, would you all please raise your hand just to let us know you're still here and you remember diverse discussions? Yes, yes. It was great. It was great. I just had to give a quick shout out to that. And then if any of you remember, in 2003, Mayor Hood's leadership transitioned to state government, where she was appointed by Governor Jeb Bush as Florida's Secretary of State, making her the first non-elected individual to hold that position. In this role, she oversaw various state divisions, including administrative services, cultural affairs, elections, historical resources, and others. Her tenure was marked by efforts to craft the state's strategic plan for economic development and a 10-year cultural strategic plan reflecting her dedication to Florida's cultural and economic vitality. Beyond her official roles, Mayor Hood has been an active member of numerous organizations. She served as president of the National League of Cities, the Florida League of Cities, the Florida Chamber of Commerce, and on many other national boards. Her civic leadership began with the Junior League of Greater Orlando and has really grown far beyond Central Florida. Mayor Hood's career is a testament to what is possible when passion, meets purpose. Her dedication to our community provided a solid foundation, which our Mayor, Buddy Dyer, whom I've had the pleasure of working with now for almost 23 years, and other elected leaders have built on this foundation to make Orlando a wonderful place to live, work, and play. She is a visionary leader who helped to shape Orlando into the city that it is today. I was honored to serve with her for 10 plus years. And there are several senior staff members that are here. I was blessed to be the founding director of Orlando's first Neighborhood Services Office, which trained thousands of our residents, including many that are here today, to engage and partner with city government. Would any of my city team members just quickly raise your hand, because I know some of you served with Mayor Hood. And yes, thank you. Mayor Hood is also a role model. She's a role model for many, and she's a loving mother. She's here with her husband, Charlie, grandmother, and friend. She is often someone who I've heard say, "Oh, well, I just checked that out with Glenda." I was like, sounds good. You got some good advice. As we honor her and celebrate her achievements today, it is fitting that today we're also supporting the History Center's Her Story, the internship program established by Rachel Allen and her family and named for her mother, Bickley, and my mother, Jean. What a fabulous honor to do that today. And this is to advance female achievement and female archivists and historians. I could talk for days about Mayor Hood, but I promise I'm wrapping up. As we honor Mayor Hood, I just want to say that Mayor Hood's legacy reminds us of how important it is to not only groom and mentor the next generation, but just to help the next generation of professionals become the leaders that Central Florida is fortunate to have and that we need today, especially women leaders who will carry forward the spirit of leadership, service, and innovation that her life exemplifies. Please join me in expressing our heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Glenda E. Hood for her outstanding contributions and enduring impact on our community.
I went into public service just as an extension of community and business service in the community. And I thought that was important to give back to my community. So that was always my thought process, giving back to the community, making a difference in people's lives, making our city and our overall region better in the future. You know, it's funny, I never really thought about being part of history in my hometown, but I've been so fortunate over the years to be able to be involved in so many different organizations, politically, nonprofit, corporate, etc. And it's a real honor to be honored at this breakfast during Women's History Month. And I hope that I've been able to serve as an example for others to follow and able to open doors for women in particular in this community and at the state level and beyond. I think that's so important, and that's what we do during Women's History Month is honor that legacy that all of us have tried to leave behind. And all of these women that are being honored are friends, and we've all worked together over the years. We've been collaborative. We've worked to make a difference in the community, and so to be with Martha and Linda and Mable, and then to honor Mary Johnson as well, it's just a real thrill for me. Get involved in something in the community where you have a passion. That's important. And then offer yourself up for a leadership position. Don't be afraid to do that because that will help you, and it will really help you as you know, the old adage about climbing up the ladder of success. Get up some of those rungs of the ladder, reach down and pull the next woman along behind you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Myra Uribe. I'm Orange County Commissioner for District 3. And listening to everyone today has, I don't know about you all, has made me very emotional. I would be remiss if I don't start by acknowledging the Johnson family, Charles, and everyone that's here this morning that I feel like I've grown up with. They've known me since I was a little girl. And the biggest honor for me is I get to speak about Mary I. Johnson, the first Hispanic commissioner elected to the City Council in Orange County. And God has blessed me to be able to fill the role that she held and that I volunteered on as a young girl when I started getting involved in politics. Because that's what Mary Johnson was. She brought people along. She made you get involved. And the reason why this is so important is because my mother, who I lost many years ago, loved Mary Johnson. As she would always say, comisionada, comisionada, because it was so exciting to hear and meet the first Hispanic. And I think my youngest picture with her, I'm probably about 7 years old. And when she ran for re-election, I was 11, and she got me involved. And if anybody remembers those days, that's the epitome of grassroots door knocking. And we would drop off tea bags because the slogan was vote for me and have tea, or have tea and then vote for me. So you can just imagine it was phenomenal. Commissioner Johnson was elected to Orlando City Council in 1980, where she served till 1992. And then in 1992, she ran for Orange County Commissioner, District 3, and was elected and served 2 terms till 2004. But what she did in that epic time was incredible. 2 major people that she helped shape into who they are today, Belinda Ortiz Kirkgard, who is our Executive Director of the National Entrepreneur Center. And then in 1999, when she pushed for the Victim Service Center and had a chief of staff by the name of Louis Damiani, who I know is here, who is now the Executive Director of the Victim Service Center, is just an idea of that vision that she had way beyond us. Commissioner Johnson was very committed to public transit. She was committed to making downtown more residential, more livable, but also she had a passion for having events at the Lou Garden and encouraging other people to get involved in your community and advocating to get people on boards. And she's the reason why I started my own youth advisory board, because when I was in high school and she was a city councilwoman, she would have me come see her. She wanted me exposed to government, and she would say, what's important to young people today? And I remember that story, and I share that story with my high schoolers today. What's important to you? What are you thinking about before life really happens? I always say when you meet young people, you ask them, what do you think you want to do? Because they live in a cocoon of till 12th grade. And it's because of her that I pursued this. And one of the most beautifulest dreams that I got to fulfill, 1, that she was able to vote for me. 2, she was able to write a check for me. So don't forget, we got to support women when they run for office. But 3, being there when we put my yard sign in front of her house right off of Conway Road. And then sadly, being able to share in the day of her passing. And today, from my rearview mirror, hangs my rosary bead with a picture of Mary Johnson, who continues to inspire me, who continues to remind me to believe and hold on to my faith, and to keep pushing, ladies, when we're tired. To keep pushing, we don't feel like we've done enough. And to think of all the women that we've recognized today who kept pushing when it wasn't even popular to be us. And today we get to stand up, and they've paved the way, and they've inspired us, they've encouraged us, they've mentored us. And on the side note, Oak Ridge High School. I'm a pioneer, and I always say great things came out of Oak Ridge High School, Mayor Glenda Hood. So, but this is just, we should celebrate this every day. We should look at all these women and all these stories and all the incredible people who introduced everyone here, who remind you of they've paved the way. And as I tell women that I talk to, as I get to have my daughter celebrate with me today, is I didn't pave the way for you to do what I did. I paved the way for you to pass me and do so much more. And so, ladies, it is an honor. I have goosebumps because our angel, Mary Johnson, is not here with us, but her spirit lives on in us. And I know she's with my mother, and my mother is calling her comisionada because of her, I am here. Because of her, there's so many of us that are here. And let's never forget Mary I. Johnson, our first Hispanic elected city commissioner, our first elected county commissioner, and a spear and pioneer for the future of all women. Thank you, and thank you, Johnson family, for allowing me to be a part of this beautiful celebration.
Well, it's amazing. The family is very honored to have this recognize all of her hard work, and she has many awards over the years, but something like this is straight from the community. It means a great deal to her. She was always involved with the schools and the children in the neighborhoods and that, so I think being an example for the next generation, which she'd be very proud of since her legacy is living on. She'd be very modest, very humble. She'd kind of say, and I can hear her saying, I did all that. She was very knowledgeable that she represented not only women, but the minorities and the Hispanic community, and she was very involved with working with the Hispanic community and getting them involved with boards and had different events. So it was something that in her position, she knew she had a responsibility to represent, and she did it very well, and she was liked by many. Being Hispanic, that was something she was very proud of. My grandfather was Puerto Rican, my grandma was Cuban, and she lived in both Puerto Rico and Cuba, but was born in New York. But she was very proud of the Hispanic community and the growth of Orlando, but she just was very happy with Orange County. But her biggest thing too was to influence others, to bring up the next generation of leaders, to show people in the community what you can become and what you can do. She's got grandkids, great-grandkids now, and she's definitely a role model that they can look up to, and a lot of young women in the community do look up to her, and a lot of young men who have helped her along the way as well. So she'd be very proud, and I can speak for her for that. And she loves Orlando, and she loves Orange County, and worked with some great people. I think she'd be very proud of this award. Thank you. Quickly, I wanted to thank the History Center for this honor, and congratulations to the honorees. You know, when we walked into this building, there's a plaque on the front of the building when they dedicated it with Mom's name on there and all these familiar faces. It seems like home. And, you know, this coming week I wanted to mention is the Victim Service Center Gala, the Cheers to Change, and we've also set up an endowment in her name, the Mary I. Johnson Endowment Fund. You can see Louis Damiani. He is the director of the center and former Orange County Commissioner, and we really appreciate all you've done, Louis. And, you know, our parents met in '67 and moved to Orlando because of the Navy. My dad retired, and as they say, the rest is history. And, you know, they taught us what it is to be a part of a community and serve in that community, you know, whether it was our church or Scouts or many other organizations. And as a poll watcher, Mom taught us what democracy was and what our vote means. And at 18, I was able to go in and vote for my mom, for all moms. We didn't have a lot growing up, but we had everything we needed. And our parents showed us how lucky we were as we went and volunteered at Edwards Boys Ranch and Russell Home and Great Oaks Village and other places in our community. And when the neighborhood asked her to run for office, it was unheard of that a woman and a Latina would get elected. She loved Orlando and Orange County, and she didn't see that as an obstacle. She saw it as a challenge. And besides that, she saw the needs in the community and worked hard to meet those needs and had fun while she was doing it. She represented responsible growth while preserving existing resources and respect for all. I thank God for our blessings, our community, and the honor of her legacy. Thank you.
I feel like such a blow-in. I'm only in my 15th year here in Orlando. And I'm Reverend Kathy Schmitz. I'm currently president of the League of Women Voters of Orange County. And when I came to Orlando to serve First Unitarian, I knew that there was something about Orlando because the first minister of the congregation that I came to serve was a woman in 1912. And Eleanor Gordon, and she came with her friend suffragette Mary Safford. They were a force in town, and there's this wonderful quote that Eleanor says when she's talking about the congregation's growth, but in it she includes the line, "Never for a moment did I question the belief that Orlando was destined to be one of the large cities of the South." And so she knew that it was important for her congregation to have a presence. So I was inspired by her when I got here, but then I found out that there were all these other really great women. And it's been such an inspiration to be a member of this community and to feel inspired by all of the people that we've heard of today, and I thank you all for your service. As the president of the League, I find myself in awe of history. The League has been around nationally since 1920, locally since 1939, and it hasn't changed. There's an interesting thing going on right now, is that people have some questions about whether the League is nonpartisan. Our positions haven't changed. The world has. But we're holding strong in what we do. And what I love about being here in the History Center is that opportunity to look back and see the arc of history, right? That arc of the moral universe that has been spoken about by so many, that bends toward justice, but only if we help it, right? So all of these women that we are honoring today have done their part to bend that arc toward justice. And we are reminded that they gave of themselves, their family time, so much that we are appreciative of. And the way we show our appreciation, lovely flowers, I didn't get the orange memo, but the way we honor them is by rolling up our sleeves and continuing their work. Because now more than ever, that arc needs our help. If the issues that women care about, that support our families and our communities are going to continue, we honor them by pushing forward. And so it is my great honor to help us turn from the past to the future and introduce to you our next speaker, who is Adeze Nwigwe, who is a graduate student in public history at the University of Central Florida, and she is a recipient of the History Center's Herstory Internship in 2024. We are so glad to have her with us today, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience. Thank you.
Let me also adjust. So good morning, everybody. I'm really happy to be here today and be back to reflect on my time here at the History Center and get to talk about such amazing women that I interacted with and got to feel very connected with during my time here. So when I served as a Herstory intern in the fall of 2023, I was able to become acquainted with a lot of different things and get used to museum work, archiving, and collections. But something really great I got to do was write a few articles about some of the wonderful women here. So I was able to write an article about the Honorable Mable Butler, the Honorable Glenda Hood, and also Commissioner Mary I. Johnson. So I really loved learning about them through these opportunities. And what resonated with me back then, and even more so today, was how they did good right at home. So when they started, it was because of a concerted effort to help those around them. And what they did, even though we've heard about these really amazing feats, they didn't happen overnight. So Mary I. Johnson didn't create the Victim Service Center in one day. Mable Butler didn't become the first Black woman on the Orlando City Council in one night. Neither did Glenda Hood become the Secretary of State overnight. So that just really inspired me to think very intentionally about what I did and realize that you could start really, just really strong right where you are. And it doesn't have to be this grand initiative, but it can build and transcend you. And so I really feel like that also embodies the spirit of the Her Story internship itself. So the internship allows young women like myself and others to really get experience and their foot in the door in museum work. And I can really personally attest to that due to my experiences after the internship. So after my time as a Her Story intern, I was really inspired to go advocate and find other positions that were similar now that I had this in my tool set. And one of the things that I got to do was serve as the Library of Congress intern in the fall of 2024. And that was a really great opportunity. I remember during the interview process, they were very interested in my background and what I did here. So that was just one of the ways it prepared me. And specifically, I worked with the Center for the Book, and this is an organization that highlights really great authors and diverse stories and works to promote literacy across the nation. And the project I did was part of a pilot series with PBS, and I was able to do research that would trace the literary heritage of the nation. And in that, I was really able to highlight some great authors, especially female authors, and their works that inspire a lot of people today. Moreover, when I was here at the History Center, I remember seeing a lot of oral histories due to my supervisor, Rachel Williams, and I was helping to organize and catalog oral histories. So that really encouraged me to advocate for myself and be very proactive in seeking similar opportunities. And just this past month, I was able to volunteer with UCF. And we did an oral history day right here nearby in Paramore. So this historic Black neighborhood that a lot of the women here helped develop as well. And it was a great opportunity to use my skill set, but moreover to connect with people right here and learn about generations of families that still live here today. And the internship has just helped me also in so many other ways. So certain scholarships, they like to see historians who have really put themselves out there and try to make themselves known to the community and uplift other people. So this internship has just been the cornerstone for such opportunities. So overall, it's very easy, even though these are blessings, to feel overwhelmed by these opportunities. But moreover, I felt a kind of sense of calm and peace because I had the preparedness from this internship, and I felt like I had the right foundation. And so as I complete my master's program this spring, I look forward to other opportunities that highlights different people and that helps to highlight really overlooked stories by others. And I feel like in this way, I'll truly embody the spirit of the Her Story internship, but more importantly, the legacy of such great women that we've talked about today and kind of copy their mission about how they've helped others and started right here in Central Florida. Thank you.
Hey y'all. I am the spring 2025 Her Story intern, and my name is Kiana Brantley. I am a recent graduate from Howard University, and my major was Afro-American Studies and Political Science. As a student, I had the amazing opportunity to work at the National Gallery of Art as well as the Brooklyn Museum. And since graduating, I have moved on to the Orange County Regional History Center, which has been amazing because before I went off to college, I was the product of 4 generations of Floridian residents. And learning more about regional history has been such an honor because I've been able to learn more about how my family fits into the history of Central Florida, as well as the contributions of early Black settlers to this area. While being a Her Story intern, I have learned more about the life of Miss Altarmise Bentley, who is a historian, educator, and author. amongst many other things. And her work to preserve the history of early Black communities within Central Florida has been both awe-inspiring, and I hope that it will motivate me to also continue her creed of cultivating one's passions while also in service of others. I am very excited to have had this opportunity, and I believe that coming back to Florida has just motivated me to continue on in my career to be in service of others. And thank you all for giving me this opportunity.
Good morning. This is awesome. We ought to do this more often. Want to come again next Friday, and we'll honor 5 others. Really, this is kind of a showcase of what makes our community special. First, we get to celebrate 5 political pioneers who have made a lot of things easier for those who have come beyond them, but we also at the same time get to provide opportunities for the next generation that we're hearing from, Kiana and Udaze. How remarkable were they? Let's give them a hand. So I'm here with Susie and my 3 commissioners that have already been named, but we are proud to be a sponsor of the breakfast this morning. We're also proud to partner with the History Center on something called Orlando Collected. So that's an exhibit that will open next month that helps honor the 150th anniversary of the city of Orlando being incorporated. And I have not been mayor for most of those years, but I have been mayor for a lot of those. So if you take Mayor Hood and I, let's see, 23 and 11, so that's 34 years. And we have a history of long-serving mayors. I think we've only had 5 mayors in the city of Orlando for the last 70 years because everybody served at least 10 years, and the one that served 10 only served 10 because he died in office, and I'm not planning on doing that. Susie, by the way. But celebrating 150 years helps us to celebrate the history and recognize the progress that we have made, and the 5 individuals that have been honored today certainly recognize that. And they've all, like Mayor Demings, have been mentors and friends. In fact, Mayor Chapin introduced me the very first time I ran for office in 1992 for the state Senate. So thank you for that. If you guys don't like the service I've been provided, you can blame Mayor Chapin because she got me started on this route. So I'm going to take one last mayoral privilege, and I would like to honor one other political trailblazer, a non-elected official. Just so happens that today is the final day in City Hall for Kathy Russell, who has served 45 years for the city of Orlando. Kathy, would you raise your... So Kathy served as the Director of Government Relations under Mayor Frederick, Mayor Hood, and myself, and she has broken many glass ceilings and had a career being successful in places that are generally dominated by men, particularly the city of Tallahassee and everything that goes on there. But she has always been uplifting to women. She has done things lately to make sure that Orlando is an age-friendly city. And she's even working on her last day at City Hall. Now, this is the 3rd time that she's attempted to retire, but I think, in fact, this may be the one that does it. So let's give Kathy a big hand and say,
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Dyer, for your thoughtful and inspiring remarks. For those that I haven't had the pleasure to meet, my name is Victoria Grant. I'm a board member here at the Historical Society. That's better? Yes. There we go. Thank you, Mayor Dyer, for your thoughtful and inspiring remarks. My name is Victoria Grant. I'm a board member here at the Historical Society of Central Florida. As we bring this morning's celebration to a close, let us take a moment to reflect on the powerful stories we have heard and the incredible women we have honored. Today we have celebrated the fearless trailblazers who reshaped Orlando's political landscape. Leaders who stood firm in the face of challenges and paved the way for generations. Their legacy is not just one of achievement, but of perseverance and courage. Thank you to our honorees, our esteemed guests, and our generous sponsors. Your support and dedication makes events like this possible and strengthen our shared mission of preserving and amplifying women's history. To the Orange County Regional History Center and staff and volunteers and all those who work tirelessly to document and share these important stories, thank you for ensuring that contributions of women continue to inspire generations to come. As we leave here today, let us do so with a renewed commitment to lifting each other up, championing the next generation of leaders, and making sure the stories of fearless leaders, women, past, present, and future, are never forgotten. One of the most impactful ways to continue this important work is by supporting the Her Story Internship Fund and the Orange County Regional History Center. We encourage you to donate through the United Arts Collaborate campaign to help us provide opportunities for students and ensure that the stories of women continue to be researched and shared for years to come. I believe there's QR codes on your tables, as well as donation envelopes. QR codes, we're in the day and age of digital. I also encourage you to return on April 11th as we unveil our new exhibition, Orlando Collected, which invites you to explore our city's history through 150 items curated from the archive of the Historical Society of Central Florida, and in collaboration with individuals and organizations throughout Orlando whose involvement strengthen our community's connections to its past and reflects a rich variety of perspectives on its history. Thank you to the City of Orlando for your generous support in making this event possible. Your commitment to preserving history and empowering future generations is truly invaluable. Now, it is my honor to introduce our final speaker. Sean Welcome is the Poet Laureate of the City of Orlando, a gifted spoken word artist, and a passionate advocate for storytelling. Through his work, he has inspired audiences across Central Florida and beyond, using poetry to uplift, educate, and spark meaningful conversations. Please join me in welcoming Sean Welcome.
Thank you and good morning. Happy Women's History Month. Thank you, Azela and the team for putting this wonderful event together. Mayor Dyer, the City Council. I'm deeply honored to be a part of this celebration with you all today. I'm really grateful to celebrate Orlando's political pioneers who happen to be women, which has its own unique, set of challenges. And it's always helpful to preserve the legacy of what those individuals did. And one of the ways that I do poetry and storytell is a way of preserving that legacy and that history. And so this poem that I want to close out with for you all is called Rio. It's actually a poem about my great-grandmother who lived to be the age of 103 before she had passed. But this was a poem that I performed in her 100-year celebration. But the substance of that content, I think, applies in this context as we think about legacy and preserving it and celebrating those who have broken those glass ceilings. All right? A little bit of backdrop to the poem so that it makes more sense. The poem is called Rio, and it stems from the summer of 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, where they had their very first refugee Olympic team. These were athletes that qualified for their said sport, but didn't have a stable enough country to support them. So I compared the life of my great-grandmother to those same challenges, and it all applies here, all right? Enough of that, into the poem, all right? This piece is called Rio, and I hope you enjoy it. When that first refugee Olympic team took to the streets of Rio in 2016, global reception was warm. With no national anthem prepared for the podium, I wonder if the athletes would have just closed their eyes and sang their favorite song. Outside looking in, they already won. 1916. That's the year my great-grandmother was born. Bordering one country north of those same summer games is Guyana. It's where both sides of my family's from. Her name's Hyacinth Bourne. And even Bulk's 100-yard dash can't compare to the 100 years crossed last November. So many memorable stories to share, but I'll hold on because this poem would be too long. I'm like, people looking at me like, are you done? She's no refugee, but the similar sentiments got me thinking about legacy and milestones and how important it is to celebrate checkpoints of accomplishment, coupled with flowers for those still alive to smell them. Although magic moments seem to be seldom, consider this, that Olympic team of 10 competed in track and judo and swimming, treading water, running, and fighting are behaviors fitting of those fleeing war-torn countries. Turning tragedy to triumph requires resilience, mentally accepting delayed gratification, and the kind of brilliance becoming of my granny. Though surgeries were multiple and major, she'd still memorize every mother and dog's phone number and their neighbors. Brains sharp like lasers, faith in God got family fused from the old school. But look, rumor has it Granny be on Facebook. Posted inspirational quotes from DJ Khaled. Can you imagine what it must be like to survive 100? Or to go from refugee camp to running in the 800. This is about legacy. We all have a race to run on a world stage, and it looks different for everyone. Let me paraphrase Einstein before I'm done. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is dumb or somehow less. This isn't about what you can't do, my friends. It's a question of how you function best and what, if not who, were you designed to bless. Between birth and death-based legacy is built up of the dashes. It's custom made, maybe memorable, definitely matchless. So run, let the breeze brush off the heat of the sun. Add to that legacy, make it a great one. Mark every milestone to the sound of an angelic chorus. And if you ever get discouraged while running long distances, remember to reflect on the legends who blazed trails, cracked and shattered glass ceilings, who are seated before us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Those powerful, moving words were perfectly capturing the spirit of this morning's celebration. And it was really a privilege to host this morning's event, and we're so happy that we were able to welcome everyone today. We hope that today does serve as a reminder of the importance of bringing visibility to the important roles and contributions of women throughout Central Florida's history. As we conclude today's program, we invite all of our honorees and the family of the late Senator Geraldine Thompson to join us for a group photo. And thank you again for coming to this special occasion, and have a good morning.